Vampires. Vampires are weird. Vampires in media are weird, but interesting. They can be a very good metaphor for addiction, obsession, whatever. In my mind, I think it's stupid when you change the basic rules. They don't have a reflection, easy. And for the ease of production, neither do their clothes. And if you want to be special, don't give them a shadow, because technically they don't have a soul, and that's basic symbolism. It's a bit weird, but it's cool. Also, vampires have to eat blood. And oh, any blood will do. Just go down to the butcher and wring a chicken out like a goddamn ShamWow. No! The entire idea is taken away from the monster aspect of vampires. They are immortal, but they got killed for it. If you want to say, hey, if they don't drink blood anymore, they get a bit weaker, sure, that makes sense. I'd be fine with that. Also, taking away their sunburning problem is really stupid. Again, it helps reinforce the idea that these people are willing to limit themselves and turn themselves into monsters for immortality. These rules of vampires should be taken to heart in any media with them in it. Or else they will be the bad examples that will ruin the idea of vampires in media for a long time. Like Jacob from Twilight. He is barely a vampire, and he's the most popular example of a vampire, besides Dracula, but that's not fair because it means I'm wrong. He drinks blood. He can drink blood, allegedly. The most they do is call themselves vampires, but if they wanted to, they could just say they're experimental super soldiers that escape captivity. It would make just as much sense. But that's not saying much because those movies make fuck all sense. A game I'm currently playing through is called Vampire, with a Y, because there is some serious edge to this shit. Actually, you know what? Hold on. This is called being thematic. This game explores the concept of vampires very well and explains some original folklore in a semi-realistic setting. It describes garlic being more of a symbol for people to hang out when they are aware of the existence of vampires. It describes blood-sucking, or blood in general, as more of an addiction rather than a necessity. And even better is that the gameplay implies the necessity. I'm gonna have to explain a bit of it to make the point, but in Vampire, you level up with XP, but you don't do it automatically like in Skyrim or something. You do it manually when your character sleeps after you've checked off all the abilities that you want to gain or respec. The way to get XP is either by finishing some side missions, or killing enemies, or killing characters. Okay, I realize that the XP part doesn't really matter, but what does matter is the abilities you get by using the XP. The ability themselves are pretty generic game stuff like, oh, this ability has long range, this one is an AoE, area of effect if you don't know. Is it effect or effect? Doesn't matter. And this one's a powerful melee. Whip on those hoes. All they do is different kinds of damage that affect the combat efficiency, whatever. To use those abilities, you use blood, either gained by biting an enemy, or using a craftable syringe, or slurping a rat. There have been multiple times in this game where drinking a rat from the tail like a goddamn Capri Sun saved my life. And there's other parts of vampire folklore that I do find interesting, but they're very rarely explored in media. Like, vampires can't pass over flowing water. And you know, I think that would be a very interesting way to incorporate environmental storytelling. Or they can't go into people's homes uninvited. I've seen some weird people on Tumblr explore this idea very well, saying shit like, home is where the heart is, so they can't attack you unprovoked while you're around people you love. Which is the same vibe of saying, you can't kill me, I have the power of friendship on my side. But there are some good ones, like defining invitation. If you have a town party, the implication is that everyone in the town is invited. So Alucard Suck Boys, the Frenchman himself, is automatically invited. There's also this other idea that they can invade your home and they won't die, they'll just be weaker without permission, which I respect it. Not really, I hate that idea. There's also some other aspects of vampires that have just been like ignored, like the idea of them turning into bats is just gone unless the media with vampires in it is a comedy. You know, What We Do in the Shadows, Hotel Transylvania, others. Also, I don't know how vampires are made. It changes all the time and no one has the right idea. Like in Vampire, like I told before, the vampire feeds their blood to the victim and then they become a vampire. Or they suck the blood out of someone and then they become a vampire. Or the vampire ejects venom into someone after sucking them to turn them into a vampire. Also, apparently there's some law that reveals that you can become a vampire if a cat jumps over your corpse. Listen, the rules are unclear. No! Bloody hell! You bitch! So this shit cuts off after 10 minutes, that's good to know. More so about these unclear rules is how to defend yourself against vampires. Wouldn't stake to the heart? Yeah, no shit, who wouldn't that kill? But apparently, due to lore somewhere, apparently the stake used to kill a vampire is typically made from aspen. You know why? Because Jesus Christ's crosses was made from the same wood. Also, vampires are repelled by religious symbols, and we don't know the limits of that logic, because most vampire stories are secured to single places. But if we let all the religious symbols work, then I have what I'd call a speedrun strat to defending yourself against vampires. Some religious symbols are common, and I don't mean the cross, because although that is common, it is consciously religious. I mean symbols that are originally religious, but have been marketed to regular people to just be nice looking symbols, like Taoism and the yin yang symbol. This is everywhere because both symbolically and visually, it's nice. And there are some that are so generic that can be applied to things that are not purposely made to be those things, like the Baha'i 9-pointed star. If you see a vampire in public, just turn any page in an old Batman comic where he does that pow thing and you can defend yourself. That's stupid. I'm almost done, but I'm gonna sign off with this thought. There is a popular religious symbol from Hinduism in India that represents the sun, prosperity, and good luck. This symbol was popularized by a bad political group around the 1940s. That symbol is called a swastika. Nazis are immune to vampires. Thank you for watching. I more or less just made this video so I had an excuse to wear that nice jacket. It is a very nice jacket. I spent like 20 bucks on it. I thrifted it. Stole it. If you like this video, like it. If you don't like this video, hold your breath. Fuck. Alright. Have a good one.